Hello friends, today I'm in Bangor City Cemetery, Bangor, Maine, but I'm taking a break from the old 1800s section and I'm actually in the 1930s section on the other far side. So very pretty section over here, and basically we're going to visit the grave of Alfred James Brady. You can actually tell where his grave is because it's right across from the marker for the 1937 section, and it's right over here. It's right there, just a flat grave put here by the city, but a little bit of background on it. Alfred James Brady, or Al Brady, was the public enemy number one for the FBI in 1937. There was actually a reward leading to his arrest of $1,500, which doesn't really sound like much, but in today's money that was about $33,486, so pretty substantial for 1937. Brady was the head of the Brady gang, and they basically went on a crime and murder spree across the Midwest. A little bit of background on Alfred James Brady is he lost his dad at age 2, his mother passed away when he was 16, and then his stepfather was age 18. So really rough childhood full of tragedy, which no doubt shaped the man he would become. Right after the stepfather died, 2 months later, he committed his first robbery in Indianapolis. And then in that robbery, when he was escaping, he was shot and wounded. Shortly thereafter, he teamed up with Clarence Lee Schaefer Jr., James Dalfor, and Charles Geiking. Mostly the gang just stole cars and committed armed robberies across Indiana, but eventually they murdered a 23-year-old Indianapolis store clerk and also an Indianapolis policeman named Richard Rivers. They're suspected of killing another policeman in Anderson, Indiana. They were captured in 1936, but Brady, Dalfor, and Schaefer escaped from the Indiana jail in Greenfield. So in 1937, they were fleeing a robbery. They killed one of the pursuing officers, Paul Miniman, who was a state trooper. Shortly thereafter, they finally got out of Indiana, relocated to first Baltimore, Maryland. Then they went to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and then finally right here in Bangor, Maine. When they came to Bangor, Maine, they had roughly about $5,000 saved up from robberies. Again, $5,000 doesn't really sound like a lot for a criminal gang, but in today's money, that's about $111,619.79. So about $112,000, give or take, in 2025. Brady thought that Maine would be a good place to secure large amounts of guns and ammo without suspicion. That was a huge miscalculation on his part. He kind of thought that we were all just a bunch of backwoods hillbillies up here, I think, but we obviously weren't. And so what happened is they went to a sporting goods store called Dakin's Sporting Goods Store on September 21st of 1937, and they tried to secure about 500 rounds of 30 caliber ammo and order some machine guns. So they claimed it was for deer hunting. Obviously, machine gun bullets would tear a deer apart. We are big into deer hunting up here in Maine. There's a lot of woods and a lot of wilderness, but of course the sporting goods owner would have known that that didn't quite add up, and they really aroused suspicion when they pulled out large wads of money. So he played along. Everett Hurd was the name of the owner of the sporting goods store, again, Dakin's Sporting Goods Store, and he kind of played along. He's like, sure, I'll order that for you guys. It'll be 2 weeks. Come pick it up then. So basically they came back in 2 weeks like they were told to, and when they did, the FBI was waiting for them. Brady and Schaefer drew their weapons in the street, and they were shot dead right away. But they did wound the FBI agent, Walter Walsh. He didn't die. He actually killed both Brady and Schaefer himself single-handedly. And he went on to be the oldest retired FBI special agent. The man actually lived to be 106 years old, if you can believe that. He lived from 1907 to 2014, which is amazing considering he was shot by gangsters. Now, Dalfor did not actually die. He survived the scuffle inside the sporting goods store. He was arrested. He was sent back to Indiana, and he was actually electrocuted. He got the electric chair on November 18th of 1938 at Indiana State Prison, Michigan City, Indiana. Brady himself, Alfred James Brady, Al Brady here, had no living relatives at that point, so he was buried by the city of Bangor in an unmarked grave. This spot was unmarked until 2007, and the city finally went ahead and put in this marker for him. They probably figured it was safe at that point. Nobody was going to try to raid it or anything. But Al's been here ever since. You can actually go online and see when the city gentlemen were actually burying him. So it's pretty wild to see that picture and know that I'm in the exact same spot as this criminal gangster. So there's a little bit of lore for the movie It here too. The gangster in the movie It, Stephen King named Al Bradley, and obviously he got the inspiration from Alfred Brady. Down on Central Street where the shootout was, there is a plaque and it states, "Near this spot, Al Brady, public enemy number 1, was shot and killed by FBI agents on October 12, 1937. So a really wild piece of Bangor history right here. It's incredible that a gangster actually tried that up here. This is a quiet little state with very little mob ties back in the day, or gangster ties back in the day. But this was a real gangster, just along the lines of like Al Capone, maybe not that level, but the same thing. He was definitely a public enemy number 1. So I was excited to make this video. I hope you enjoy it.